How high should my managing director's salary in Cyprus really be? You'll get the answer to this question in this video. Hello and welcome. My name is Florian Wilk. I am the Managing Director of CMC here in Larnaka, Cyprus. And in today's video, I'm going to bring some clarity to the question of what the Managing Director's salary in Cyprus should actually be. You often hear all sorts of things about this or read different opinions on the internet. And often these are just speculations or something like that. I think a lot of information often gets lost in the process. That's why I want to explain to you what the actual requirements are, how things are really done here in Cyprus, how the authorities operate, and what you should be prepared for. So basically, and this is very, very important, we have the mechanism in Cyprus, at least as a non-dom, meaning if you are non-domiciled and don't pay taxes on dividend distributions, that you usually want to withdraw the profits from the company through dividend distributions. That means you don't want to pay yourself a high salary, but rather keep the salary purely symbolic, because after all, you have up to 35%, progressively up to 35% income tax. On top of that, of course, comes Social Security, which is not insignificant, so you want to distribute profits instead. Then, of course, you have the 12.5% corporate tax on the company's profits, but the distribution itself is actually tax-free. There is a small health contribution, the 2.65%, which is also capped, and that's it. So you end up with a total tax burden of 15% if you distribute profits, and if you pay yourself a salary, you can end up paying up to 35% income tax, plus Social Security contributions on top of that. So you really don't need to spend a lot of time calculating. It's very obvious that you're always better off, always come out ahead if you actually distribute profits. This means, conversely, that we want to set our salary as low as possible in Cyprus. Currently, the minimum wage is 950 euros, which is a good benchmark, so you can definitely set your salary at the minimum wage of 950 euros. In some cases, we even have the possibility, though I would ask you to contact me personally to check this on a case-by-case basis. We sometimes have the option to set it even lower than 950 euros, so you can simply save on Social Security contributions in the long run. It's not uncommon for me to meet companies here in Cyprus that have salaries of 1,000, 1,500 or even 2,000 euros, and they could often save themselves 1, 2 or even 2,500 euros a year, after all, in Social Security contributions, if they were better advised or optimized in this area. So when it comes to Social Security contributions, it's really worth taking a closer look. Over 10, 15 or 20 years, these amounts add up to very large sums that you would much rather invest in your business, rather than spending it on Social Security contributions if it's not necessary, if you can optimize them. And yes, that's definitely my approach as well, to get the maximum possible for the manager within the legal framework. So what other important considerations are there when it comes to salary levels? Sometimes, of course, there are good reasons to set the salary a bit higher. That can certainly be the case in individual situations. Just to mention it, there is also a regulation that starting from an annual salary of 55,000 euros, only half of the income tax is payable. That can also sometimes be interesting, for example, if you can't set up your own company in Cyprus but are a manager or employee and are moving to Cyprus, or have to move there as such, because you simply don't have the flexibility to invoice through your own company. So even in that case, there are ways to optimize. It's still more than with your own limited, but at least it's only half the income tax. And of course, this shouldn't go unmentioned either. You have an income tax exemption threshold of 19,500 euros per year. So everything up to this threshold is income tax free. There are also certain fine-tuning and optimization options here, which we would be happy to discuss with you individually. Yes, a very, very important topic. Exactly, the Social Security contributions are around 22 to 28%. There are various levers here, so to speak, that you can adjust. But this serves as a general guideline, let's say about roughly 25%. Those are the social security contributions in Cyprus. And ultimately, well, those are essentially the absolutely key and most fundamental things that you should definitely know and be aware of. Let me just take a moment to carefully think, did I perhaps forget to mention anything else of significant importance? Yes, another truly important and crucial thing to know and remember is that you are legally required to register with the Social Security Administration. This is actually expected by the authorities. So I would always recommend it. At least exceptions prove the rule. But as a rule, you must or should register for Social Security. That means, in any case, it is advisable as a managing director to pay yourself a salary from the very beginning, that is, from the day the company is founded, and to register this with Social Security in order to be truly compliant, to do everything correctly, and not have to pay late fees, penalties, or anything like that later on. So this is extremely, extremely important. If you want to emigrate to Cyprus, or if you want to start a company in Cyprus, or both, then feel free to contact me for a free initial consultation. You can find my mobile number below this video. You can also use the calendar link to conveniently book an appointment for a personal initial consultation with me via Zoom, and then we can discuss your emigration plans individually. The whole thing is completely free and non-binding, and I can already give you some initial tips that will certainly help you save or optimize several thousand, if not 10,000 euros a year in your tax structure here in Cyprus, but also in other jurisdictions. So thank you very much for your attention. Feel free to give me a thumbs up, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel for regular updates on emigration, Cyprus, and also company formation worldwide. And please also activate the bell so you're always kept up to date. So, thank you very much, all the best, and see you soon. Your Florian Wilk.